The game of football put life in perspective, because football is all about how you respond to adversity. And so if I knew that I can be successful in the game of football, that gave me the confidence to continue to be successful in life when the statistics were against me. You know, a lot of the odds were against me, and I didn't see a whole lot of hope outside of the game of football. But through the game, it gave me the strength that I needed to carry on every day. My path to coaching is very unconventional. I was a student at Clemson, and while I was in undergrad, I was an engineering major. So I tried to balance, both of those with the plans of the American dream. I was going to go to work in corporate America. I was going to have the White House with the picket fence and my 2.5 children. And I got to working, and I had an unbelievable job, had an unbelievable boss, but I wasn't fulfilled. I was working Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends I was trying to spend as much money as I can just to satisfy myself before I had to go back to work. So I started volunteering at a high school in the spring semester, Easley High School, and really felt like, you know what, this may be what the Lord is calling me to do. So the wife and I took a leap of faith. Attempted to come back to Clemson as a graduate assistant, but there wasn't an opportunity available. But because I expressed that interest, the coaching staff called South Carolina State University, and Buddy Pugh brought me down, interviewed me. I had no experience, had no idea what I was doing, and he offered me the job. And so I resigned from my engineering job on July 14th, got married on July 22nd, and reported August 1st to South Carolina State to coach wide receivers, and had no clue what I was doing. A lot of people told me I was crazy. I was taking a huge pay cut. I was going into a profession where I was going to work twice as many hours with no stability. I already had a career planned out at Michelin. There were a lot of plans already made for me to kind of progress in certain training that I was going to be a part of. But I wasn't fulfilled, and I didn't want to not give my best to Michelin, knowing that I wasn't wholeheartedly there.
So why weren't you fulfilled? Why was your heart in football?
Football saved my life. Having grown up in a tough situation, with my mom passing at the age of 9, and then my dad, his bad decisions catching up with him when I was 12, and being incarcerated and being forced to move from California to South Carolina to live with relatives that I didn't really know. The only thing that I really had to bring me comfort and make me feel like I belonged and I was an important person was sports, and in particular football. And I put everything I had into football, and football's like life. It's not fair. It's going to give you what you earn, but it's not fair. And so the things that I held the most dear to me, I didn't have. My mom was gone, my dad wasn't there, and then my sister, who I was trying to live my life to be an example for, she was living in another household. And so the one place where I felt like none of that mattered was on the football field. And the coaches, they didn't see my past. They didn't see the things that I'd been through. All they saw was the product that I brought every single day.
You'd have had a lot of excuses to do wrong.
There were times when I did wrong. There was times when I was very rebellious, and I resented God. I was mad at the world. I felt like I had the mentality that the world owed me something because my mother was taken away from me. But because of His tremendous grace and mercy, He kept me from doing something too bad to where I would cost myself an opportunity. And through that, He was able to develop me and mature me into the man that I am today.
The passing of your mom in a car accident, you were there. That must have been a really traumatic time for a 9-year-old boy.
It really was. But I had my little sister, and every time I looked at her, I saw that I had to be better every single day for her. And
at
so
9?
At 9 years old, and that's crazy how it happens. But at 9 years old, I grew up, and that's why I tell all of my players, I would tell my sister all the time, just enjoy the moment that you're in. Because for me, I had to grow up at 9 years old. I had to be responsible for an individual younger than myself at the age of 9. So my mentality had to switch. And I still had my childish ways, but I also was always more mature than the people that I was around, because I had responsibility in my mind, because I made a vow to my mom that I was going to take care of my sister.
So how do you use what has kind of shaped you to impact people?
I think the first thing is it's really modeled my coaching style, in that I'm never too high and never too low. because I've been to the mountaintop and I've been down in the valley, and so I try to be very, very even keel. And I use a lot of my experiences to teach, and I let my players and those around me know who I am and why I do the things that I do. I think sometimes, in society, we don't want to let people get close to us because we fear what their judgment of us is going to be. But at the end of the day, there's only one person that's going to judge us, and he gives us tests in our life to be a testament to other people so that our testimony has purpose. And so I always adhere to that the tests that I went through, right, were to be a testament to others, to help them through their hard times.